On the news at 7, Senior Special Advisor to the President on Humanitarian Affairs visits Karachi, supports the less privileged. And Sickle Cell Warriors recount experience as Nigeria marks World Sickle Cell Day. A very good evening. Thanks for joining us on Nta Channel 5 News at 7. I am Miriam Mmekamadi. The fifth president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, has been sworn in for his second term in office. President Bola Tinubu was one of the guest heads of state and government who witnessed the inauguration of the seventh administration of the country. State House correspondent Musbao Wahab reports.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, could we warmly welcome the President of Nigeria and current chairperson of ECOWAS, His Excellency Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Nigeria has been with South Africa since its apartheid era and still here with one of its long-standing allies. The leader of the largest African country was conspicuous on the roll call as South Africans once again returned to the union buildings where their topmost icon of democracy, Nelson Mandela, took oath of office 30 years ago to begin a democratic journey. The citizens were also joined by other heads of state and government as President Cyril Ramaphosa gets a second chance to lead the country.
So help me God. The President of the Republic of South Africa.
But beyond the inauguration of a new administration, South Africans are equally celebrating 3 decades of their democratic journey, partnership and growth. Now returning to power on the heels of a political arrangement leading to a government of national unity, President Ramaphosa says this is only necessary toward a more effective governance as he promises to heal the divisions of the past and eradicate the inequalities of the present amongst his people.
The voters of South Africa did not give any single political party the full mandate to govern our country alone. They have directed us to work together to address their plight and realize their aspirations.
The re-elected president acknowledged the voices and messages of his people through the ballot and says their will be done through greater dedication to democratic renewal for better social and economic gains.
They have also been unequivocal in expressing their disappointment and disapproval of our performance in some of the areas in which we have failed them. We have heard you. As the President of the Republic of South Africa, I will work with everyone to reach out and work with every political party and sector that is willing to contribute to finding solutions to the challenges our country faces as we transition to a new decade of freedom.
And just like President Ramaphosa, the military displayed their might, rededicated themselves to protecting the nation and its democracy. And not only through the military might, but resilience of the people, the South Africans have seemingly resolved to harness their strength and build a more prosperous country.
Cultures of resilient warriors.
From Pretoria, Musbao and Wahab, NTA News.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Humanitarian Affairs, Poverty Alleviation, Delubulus Yakubu, reached out to the residents of Karachi community to distribute meat to the less privileged in the spirit of Salah. Ruth Aguele reports.
It is a day like no other for residents of Karachi community, as the crowd waited in anticipation for the showers of blessings. This visit by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Delu Bulus Yakubu, to the community is a demonstration of love and sacrifice, which the festive season depicts. A stop at the Emir Palace of Karachi to pay Salah homage to the community head. The Emir prayed for Nigeria and urged citizens to be patient with the leadership of the present administration, as the ongoing reforms will yield positive results.
We are indeed very grateful. So we appeal to everybody to go back to farm, even if it's just at your backyard. Do some farming so that this will reduce the pressure on the food crisis that we are going through.
Meat, which is highly significant during the Eid al-Adha celebration, was presented to beneficiaries in partnership with a non-governmental organization as a show of benevolence, especially to those who cannot afford to perform the annual ritual of slaughtering their own ram.
In the spirit of Salah celebration, we must all take responsibility to look for needy out there. I am here. This is in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No one should be left behind, and I know they are happy.
And here we are giving out 4 kg meat packages to 500 people.
We are very appreciative for what they did. May Almighty Allah bless them and continue bless our country.
The act of charity is expected to continue even beyond the festive season to rekindle hope and humanity. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
Nigerian workers in the Federal Capital Territory have expressed willingness to put in their best for better improved country. This is made known to NTA News on resumption after Salah break. Cecilia Julius reports.
These Nigerian workers after the Salah holiday have resumed and are optimistic that the working conditions of a viable worker be achieved.
As usual, our works have resumed now. The struggle continues. We keep looking for money every day. Never get tired of getting money. So it's good to be back to work.
We resume with so much anxiety that at least the government is going to give us the required minimum wage, and we are working towards that. We don't want the nation to be down. We are working towards every time. We are working, as the president has talked that he doesn't like lazy worker, and we are working. And we come here, we are lazy, we have come here.
While bearing their hearts, they called on government to give priority to their welfare in order to meet present economic situation.
While the federal government are still back from their from the festive period, they should please try and address the issues that is at hand. The one, earlier that is disturbing the masses, including the civil servants and whatever, everybody.
But nevertheless, as a worker, we are still optimistic that President Tinubu will see how to put things together for everybody to strive and to make Nigeria a better place. And most importantly, to make our working environment friendly and any other thing that will motivate the workers to actually proceed.
In Abuja, Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
Genotype and how they make up cells of the human body used to be a mystery, but not anymore, as people hear about it every day. In fact, genotype is at the center of how well people live their lives in the long run. Hadiza Godwin Ebune tells us more as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark Sickle Cell Day.
Persons living with sickle cell disease suffer painful crises of different episodes that may begin suddenly.
I'm a sickle cell warrior because I have a lot of crises by the time and I overcome it by the time. So the experience I have with these sickle cells, I usually feel pains in my joint when the thing will start, and when the crisis begins, sometimes my leg I cannot walk. It will just bend like this, and
sometimes it gives notice. You would have seen some symptoms that something is about happening. Then sometimes it just doesn't give. Sometimes you are just fine and you find out that it just starts like that.
When I'm in pains, this is what I feel like there's an external person using a hammer to hit at me on that particular point where I'm feeling pains. And at other times, I feel like two people are dragging. Like, if it's my hands that I'm having my pains, it feels like one person is dragging it this way, the other person is dragging it the other way. It's painful. That's just what I can say. I don't really have the exact word, but imagine someone hitting you on a hammer with a hammer and another person dragging your hand. That's the most I can. That's the picture that I can paint, but I don't know the exact words to use for it.
A lot of awareness by medical experts, concerned individuals, and technologies by scientists have tried to address and bring sickle cell anemia to an end. But warriors are of the opinion that the only way sickle cell disease can come to an end is knowing your genotype before marriage.
Bone marrow or the stem transplant is not 100%. There are people that have gone through bone marrow and still have traces of sickle cell. Their bone marrow still produces the same gene. So what are we talking about? They still have to look for a partner to marry. And during this process, a lot lose their lives, and there could be a relapse. Your body can reject the new bone marrow, and that science cannot explain.
With the current state of knowledge, it is required that everybody should know its genotype before marriage, so that it will prevent this incident of sickle cell, birth of sickle cell and anemia like that.
Medical experts still maintain that knowing one's genotype before marriage is the surest way of eradicating the disease and avoiding its spread. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
Federal Road Safety Corps FCT has cautioned motorists to refrain from overspeeding and driving carelessly without consideration for other road users, as it often causes road accidents. FRSC PPRO Edem Duke said this while reacting to some road crashes in their city during the Salah holiday and efforts by the Corps to ensure safer highways.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has been at the forefront of ensuring safety on the highway with steadfast commitment to reducing the number of road crashes and fatalities. The PPRO maintains that the FRSC has implemented various initiatives to promote road safety, from deploying personnel and patrolled vehicles to strategic locations, conducting public enlightenment campaigns, and arresting recalcitrant drivers. He emphasized that the FRSC has left no stone unturned in its quest to make roads safer.
This year, it's a bit different from what it used to be in other years, especially now that we have a new commercial that personally went out to talk with the motorist. On Saturday, he was personally in Zuba with the people, the motorists, talked with various stakeholders, even the drivers on wheel, and he took this bold step to ensure that this year's celebration of Eid al-Fitr festival is a success.
Commuters agree that efforts have not gone unnoticed, as there has been a significant reduction in road crashes and fatalities in recent years. Road users agree that the FRSC's dedication to saving lives and preventing injuries is a testament to their unwavering commitment to the safety of all road users.
Yes, it's just unfortunate. Like I said, Nigerians will always be Nigerians. That crash at Bolingo Junction was one of such periods that Nigerians actually came out to be Nigerians, because that driver hadn't any business speeding along the side. Yes, the roads are there, no speed bumps. Of course, that does not mean you should speed all along. I keep emphasizing on the idea of common sense speed limit. In the city center, built up areas where people could cross vehicles. I mean, the traffic is a bit high, but then a sensible person is supposed to watch out for all these indices and address himself and is striving to it.
The multiple accidents along Bolingo Junction and along Mararaba Nyanya Road left some people injured, while the number of deaths is yet to be ascertained. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Up next is Sports Brief.
The Honorable Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owan Eno, is in Benin City to lend his support to athletes participating in the All-Nigerian Athletics Championship, the 2024 national trials. As the trials are currently underway, the minister emphasized the significance of this event in preparing the nation's top athletes for the upcoming Olympics in Paris. Senator Eno expressed his admiration for the dedication and performance of the athletes, noting that many have achieved personal best and earned qualifications for the Olympics during this trial. The senator added that the athletes have proven their mettle in the athletics. The senator added that the athletes have proven their mettle in athletics beyond the continent, and it is our place to give them all the needed support. Meanwhile, the grand finale of this year's President's Federation Cup men and women competitions will take place at the MKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja on Saturday, 29th June. The NFF Secretary, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, said that the date has been agreed by both the NFF and GTI in view of the fact that Nigeria have until midnight on Sunday, 30th June, to submit to the Confederation of African Football the names of her representative clubs in next season's continental club competitions. The Secretary stated that having looked closely at the need to submit the names of all representative clubs to CAF for African clubs competition next season, the women's final will begin at 1 p.m. while the men's final will commence at 4 p.m. as has been the tradition for so many years now. With Sports Brief, Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
And with that, we conclude the news in English. Translation is next. Stay with us.
ma gbaje we shaje wo wona ya dada bada ya bi ba ku shafa dai yi wa na ba shi ba da wo mu precious wa yu ba won wa go a na ba gi gai na sala awefo agbada nya ye nya ti to kwada za na gban inge apedai ntutun je wo ntutun lo inge aza abmashi sapa gbogbo gboyin we la lo inge karshi inge sidnaye abmashi inge rutwa dai inge zanagman ye inge dilos bulus yakubu bai gi in karshi wai gaba abu bado ina nya igbogbo ntige wa baba inge sala awefanya she agwa aisha figi in sala akwadanya in sayenyi wa godo a karshi ye ku awo babu ba fa wu ba tu anabarkantu in mashe pya wa baba ce ba ga inga adabalo inga chai gwamnati a take shi ba ku ba buba ga ba shi ba tutun she ko kuce to aiki a begi bonja Cecilia Julius wadai wana bai bada mana ye a gwamnati a tutun shi ba bai gi ba da yenge anti anabaji gwamnati sanu ba bale she ba ge aza ba ku shi ba tutun shi ba in ba bai buya in sala a yefua yi wakozo in hayen wakodo wai gaga gwamnati tutun shi zazahe go wa yace wa shi tutun shi kwa kuce tu in bagbatu in tiga tutun gwamnati da yi wa shi agbo wa giyi yi gole ya shi ba ku ba ba yi kiye na gege zazahe amekpege kwa wu she kwa zaza wu kwa wu ahwe she ba zaza wu za kwa chi nai ba de na ba kwen bayin banyanya yi gbogbo sha aza nyabo no nke amu ba zaza wuna za ko na agna ko ci asaga bana ya tutu shi ba kulo inge shaba ba bai na ba ye kwen ya hadiza godwin ebune wata inge amukpeje lolo una yiko nasarai inge SS yiko jina yiko iba yiko gbaji inge chiasaga amukpeje okonuwu she amubazazawu amubata lodon kwe kwaji amula bakmasa bade na shi agna inga amu chiasaga to shi amu ina baye a pa aza amula nkwe kwa shi yani ba buko sintike abi mba wa amepia ezata wa lafiya shan bade na shi ba kun ba na yokaya iba ji anabaye wo su shokwa si won fi na gbada sasi.
Masu kallo da sauraron mu assalamu alaikum barkamu da warhaka a takaice kamar yadda aka saba ga wasu daga cikin fassarar labaran mu ne mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. A matsayin ɗaya daga cikin harkokin bikin babbar sallah na kai ziyara da raba kyaututtuka ga mabukata da masu ƙaramin ƙarfi a cikin al'umma, wakilin Ruth Agulele ta rawaito mana cewa babbar mai taimakawa shugaban ƙasa akan harkokin jin ƙai da rage talauci a tsakanin al'umma Delu Bulus Yakubu ta raba nama ga mazauna ƙauyen Karshi masu ƙaramin ƙarfi domin su ji daɗin bikin babbar sallah su ma kamar kowa, da ta buƙaci a rinƙa taimako ga al'umma. Bayan dawowa aiki daga hutun da gwamnatin tarayya ta bayar ranakun Litinin da Talata domin al'ummar musulmi sai bikin babbar sallah ta bana, wakilar mu Cecilia Julius ta shaida mana cewa yau da aka dawo aiki ma'aikata babbar sakatariya ta ƙasa sun bayyana shirin suna tunkarar aiki gadan-gadan domin ciyar da ƙasar nan gaba. An bayyana tambayar daidaituwar jini tsakanin masoya masu shirin auren juna a matsayin abu mai matuƙar muhimmanci. A baya maganar binciken jini kafin a yi aure na zuwa da damuwa, amma yanzu bayan an san amfanin hakan mutane ba sa damuwa, lamarin da ya zama abu mai matuƙar muhimmanci. Wakiliyarmu Hadiza Gwadin Ibn ta kawo mana rahoto cewa a yayin da ake bikin ranar duba amosanin jini ta duniya, wasu 'yan ƙasa sun bayyana ra'ayoyinsu akan alfanun dubawa kafin a yi aure, lamarin da aka ce na yin tasiri matuƙa wajen samar da ƙoshin lafiya da zaman lafiya ga ma'aurata. Ƙarshen labarin namu ne kenan, sai kuma gobe idan Allah ya kai mu. Asuba ta gari.
N'akụkọ ụwa nke taa, aha m bụ Rachel Ifi Ono. Gere akụkọ ụwa n'uju ya. N'iji merube emume Sala, onye enyemaka onyeisi ala anyị n'ihe banyere mmadụ na inyere ha aka pụọ n'ogbenye Dele Bulus Yakubu agaala n'ime obodo Karishi inye ndị ihe na-esiri ike anụ. Ruth Agwele wetara akụkọ na ndị obodo a jiri obi ụtọ nabata ihe onyinye ndị a ma were ya bụ ohere dụọ ha ọdụ ka ha banye n'ọrụ ugbo. Ndị ọrụ n'isi ala anyị egosipụtala njikere na ịdị uchu ha ma kwuo na ha ga-agba ọbara ike ha ịhụ na ha kwalitere ma mee ka ala anyị bụrụ ọka ibe. Cecilia Julius wetara akụkọ na ndị ọrụ n'isi ala anyị kpughere nke a nye ndị ụlọ mgbasa ozi NTA taa dịka ha laghachiri azụ n'ọrụ ha site na ezumike emume Sala. Ajụjụ banyere ihe genotype bụ na etu ọrịa mmịnwụ ọkpụkpụ si banye n'ahụ ndị mmadụ bụ ajụjụ dị oke mkpa ma bụrụ ihe ịtụnanya na mbụ, mana ọ bụrụgo ihe a na-ekwu maka ya kwa mgbe. O kwekwara nghọta na ya bụ genotype na-eme ka ndị mmadụ hie aka n'anya mgbe ha na-eme mkpebi banyere onye ha ga-alụ. Hadiza Godwin Ebule wetara akụkọ na ajụjụ a pụtara ihe mgbe ala anyị na ụwa niile mere emume banyere ọrịa mmịnwụ ọkpụkpụ nke nwa bekee kpọrọ sickle cell. Igbo bụ Igbo, ebe a ka anyị pịachiri nke taa. Ndewo.
Ẹ kú dédé wòyí, ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín. Bọ́lájí Mátìmí oníròyìn. Olùrànwọ́ àgbà fún ààrẹ lórí ètò ọmọlúàbí Délú Bulus Yakubu ti na ọwọ́ rẹ̀ sí àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún ní agbègbè Kàrṣí. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Ruth Agúelé ròyìn wípé ètò náà jẹ́ lára ìgbésẹ̀ àti fi ẹ̀rín sí ẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ́ àwọn aláìní kí wọ́n lè kópa nínú ayẹyẹ àjọ̀dún ọdún. Ó pín ọ̀pọ̀ oúnjẹ àti ẹran fún àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún àti àwọn tí kò ní àǹfààní sí oúnjẹ ní àkókò ayẹyẹ ọ̀hún. Olórí agbègbè náà Ismaila Mohammed Danladi dúpẹ́ gidigidi fún ìgbésẹ̀ rere tí Délùs gbé. Lẹ́yìn ìsinmi fún ayẹyẹ àjọ̀dún ọdún iléyá, àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba fi ìdùnnú ọkàn hàn bí wọ́n ti ń padà sí ẹnu iṣẹ́. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Cecilia Julius ròyìn wípé àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tó bá a sọ̀rọ̀ sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn wípé wọ́n ti gbéradì láti ṣiṣẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ fún àgbéga orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n fi àkókò náà ké sí ìjọba láti ṣe ohun gbogbo tó tọ́ fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́.